Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to FAF. And oh boy, do I have a nice replay for you today. And I really do mean nice, because it's full of action, full of nice turns, and well, we have our favorite players in it, because in the South team, we're gonna go and see Mr. FtXCoommando going wide in beautiful UEF ACU, the staple faction for our player Chancellor. Now, on his other flank, in the middle of the map, we're gonna see Mr. Jagged Appliance going red, I mean bloody red, Cybran. And then, last but not least, Mr. Wheelie going Aeon and playing on the air spot. The map that we will go and play on today is Lost Paradise Island, version 42, 20 by 20. As for the other team, the East team, we're gonna see Mr. Parallon going Seraphim in lime green. His other middle friend is gonna be Mr. Bloodier going QEF in beautiful purple color. And last, we have Mr. Turbo going UEF in his beautiful, well-known orange color. He's gonna be the air player. So now, looking at the map, it is quite clear that it's gonna be split in two parts, with these ACUs from Jagged and Mr. Parallon gonna fight over this part, meanwhile the top part of the map is gonna be basically an ACU fight somewhere around here. As you don't wanna go and risk losing these juicy expansions right here, so I really think that we can go and expect players to go and duke it out somewhere around this area here, and well, we can already see some sneaky raids coming out from Mr. Parallon, but Jagged is not gonna have it, because remember, we are playing on a new balance patch, and as such, Selens, Hunters, Selens, I meant Flares and Mech Marines received quite a substantial boost to them, so okay. The Selen is spotted, it's gonna start running away, and we will see if Jagged is gonna catch it or not. But worry not, as there is one more trying to sneak by. You can see him slowly jogging through the trees. Also, funnily enough, as you can see, the units are actually capable of moving through this gorge here, so yeah, I mean gorge, or however the hell it is pronounced, but whatever. We have second air coming out from Mr. Jagged as he feels the first interceptor of the game. Now he goes for a scout, and we will see if he can actually manage to go and catch the T1 transport coming out from Mr. Bloodier, who's most likely gonna go and, yep, he's gonna go and grab the expansion to the north, and then I bet he's gonna go for this plateaus here, just drop a single engineer, and then enjoy the free mass coming out from these 4 mess points. Okay, Mr. Turbo grabbing his other T1 mexes, this time on the shoreline, but strangely enough it seems like these mexes right here are gonna belong to Mr. Jagged Appliance on the other team, so we can already see that both teams are playing this game a little bit differently, with the East team granting a few more mass extractors to their air player, and as such I think we will go and see a little bit more airplay coming out from them. A Hunter and Mole trying to go and fight some kind of victim, but it seems like, yep, they managed to go and fight one T1 engineer around here, but it seems like that's gonna be the end of the journey for them. We will have an air fight or not. Cyclone on the back of the Prowler is gonna go and shoot it down, but it seems like it's also gonna go and fall down, as there was just too many intis coming out from Mr. Jagged Appliance, but worry not, the reinforcements are here, and even the Cyclone is gonna stay alive on just 7 HP. The Mole have been just killed, and as such the Hunter is right now without any kind of support, and just like that he's gonna go and fall down. Meanwhile, on the north part of the map, we can see a few strikers trying to go and raid Mr. Bloodir. But they're gonna fall down. And they're not gonna accomplish anything at all, as Mr. Bloodir have managed to secure the expansion. And not only that, but his heavy T1 ACU is also in here. It might not have any upgrades, but at this stage of the game, it is a beast, believe me. So let's look at the economy state of the air players. We have 2 T1 Maxes, I mean 2 T2 Maxes, okay, make it 3. And the 4th one is well on the way, meanwhile Mr. Farmsled, he already have 4 of them. And also, it seems like he's already on the T2 HQ stage, and as such he's gonna go and start pumping out the Inties, or I rather should say the Swift Winds. Or actually no, he's gonna go for a Spectre first, to go and try to harass some of the enemy players. We can see that the plateaus have been finally taken by Mr. Bloodir. A small airfight happening in the middle, but it seems like it's a bad choice, Mr. Jagged. You just don't own enough interceptors to go and fight it. T1 Bomber killing 1 engineer in a single pass, but it seems like he's gonna get picked off by stray interceptors. So well, goodbye, Mr. Bomber. ACUs exchanging fire on the north part. We can see 2 UEF jets digging it out, one by one, shots being fired as both ACUs are not gonna fall down so far. A single striker trying to go and make a run by for a flank, most likely gonna go and pick up the single T1 Max. Also, 3 more going a little bit more to the south, picking up a single Max, and damn, they're gonna fall down. Also, it seems like the West team lost all their air. I just don't see any kind of interceptors coming out from there. Yes, they have nothing, just 2 Inties from Mr. FtXCoommando. And they're also gonna fall down. The Spectral also been spotted by the scout, and as such 3 more interceptors from Mr. Turbo gonna go and deal with it. Meanwhile, the T1 drop with Angie is just gonna go unscathed. These guys still duking it out. Just look at them, an overcharge being fired by FtXCoommando. Bloodir changing his fire priority to T1 tanks, gonna go and get rid of the DPS first. As at this stage he just cannot go and deal with the ACU, it's way too early. A small run-bys from Mr. Parallon. 2 times gonna go and make it through, but this one actually should be dead. And Jack should just go and stop building a T1 factory and go for the tank, but well, it's too late. Some more Mantis trying to go and catch the little Tom here, which is gonna go and try to get rid of the T1 mass extractor. So I don't think it's gonna happen. Up, some little cheeky Mantis in behind the front lines. Getting rid of 2 T1 Maxes and a few tanks. Also just managed to go and kill off a Selen. Now going to pick up the radar. And it seems like there is even more coming through the mountains. Just look at these little spider bots running around, giving no fucks about the fact that they're just scaling mountains. How nasty is that? Like, how nasty? Like, come on, look at them. They're like little nasty spiders climbing on walls. Yuck. Ugh. They just managed to even go and pick up a single T1 engineer. And now they're going to get rid of even more T1 Maxes. An interesting choice, and it seems like Jagged lost a lot of T1 Maxes in here, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, it seems like Parallon is not gonna go and give him a rest. Parallon asking for artillery from... Actually no, it was Turbo asking for the RT for Parallon to make them, as he wants to go and drop Mr. Farmsled somewhere around his base. So we can see a little bit of nice teamwork coming from the East team. And it seems like the Mantis are finally gonna go and meet their end. They made a lot of trouble for the other team, but soon enough they're gonna go and drop dead. Yes, die, die, die. We don't wanna see you. Though honestly, the Mantis are already in quite bad shape after the last nerfs. Justice for Mantis, that's what we demand. Swiftwind's picking off a single T1 interceptor that was trying to go and kill the Zeus bomber, which now is gonna go and get rid of the T1 PD here. Also a small push coming after Mr. Jacked. He's gonna go and push some Mantis through this valley here. T1 mech's going down. But the ACU from Paralon is gonna go and make sure that they're not gonna go and deal any kind of lasting damage. Ah, Jack ran the Mantis himself into the Paralon's ACU. So, sorry, but it's not gonna work out. The Mantis are just gonna die like this. Pum, pum. There dies the Mantis. The north part of the map seems to be chilling at the moment, with FtXCoommando amassing a big amount of pillars. We can see that he already have 2 T2 support factories, and there is even more coming in online, so he's gonna go and get this sweet pillars mix running together with his ACU, and most likely a few parashields. Yep, there you can see him getting the parashields. Also getting a shield on his ACU, so I do bet that we're gonna go and see quite a nice push in a few minutes coming from FtXCoommando. And that is the drop that Turbo was asking for. He supplied the transport, while Mr. Paralon got 6 Zeus to go and chuck it up. Yeah. Let's see what is it actually gonna drop. Straight in the middle of Farmsletty base. The T3 spy plane is out for him, but the question is, will he actually go and manage to spot it or not? The Swiftwind is coming closer and closer. But is he? No, he's not aware of the transport. Oh my goodness, the T2 mexes are in danger. They are in danger, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good. I hate it. I hate seeing this happen. Please, farms, tell me you're gonna go and get rid of the transport. I don't wanna see it. I don't wanna see the... I don't wanna see it drop the Zeus. No. Just look at this sweet T2 mexes pumping the mass, making sure we have economy to run the war, but no. Here comes the Zeus, the destroyers of fun. Okay, shield done by Mr. FtXCoommando. The ACU is in place and ready to push in. 17 pillars, 33 strikers and 30 Lobos, together with a few flags and some parashields. This guy means business, but the Zeus are also here to break your day. Ay. XD coming up from Farmsletty as he's trying to go and save his mexes. Bombs dropped by the bombers, first Zeus are dead, by also mexes are nowhere to be seen. And the third T2 mex is gonna go and fall down. Not even much reclaim being left here. Ah, what a sad day to be alive. Control K, my friend. Control K. Because this is yikes, big yikes. But meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we have FtXCoommando pushing in with his ACU and a pillar mix. He's gonna go up against a small army of units from Mr. Bloodir and a bunch of T2 PDs called Triads firing away at his ACU. Will he manage to break the defense or not, or Mr. Bloodir is gonna go and secure this position for longer? The pillars are pushing in, going under the shield, and let's see if FtX gonna micro it to go and kill them. No, it seems like he won't. T1 PDs getting online, but they're gonna go and die in no time due to the big amount of Lobos in the mix. The ACU belonging to Mr. Commando is not taking any damage at all. It's just way too chunky. It's a big charge UEF ACU. And the T2 suit on Mr. Bloodir is not gonna be enough. Gonna go and try to get some T1 PDs up and running, but I just don't think he's gonna go and be able to go and protect himself. The few tries just don't offer enough DPS to go and deal with a bunch of T1 and T2 tanks, and as such I think that Mr. Bloodir will have to simply go and say goodbye to the world. That is, unless he somehow manages to get a T2 transport out or even run away with his units. But it seems like it's just not gonna happen. There are just no units at all in here. I mean, what was he even trying to go and do here? There's nothing here in the base. He just wasn't making any units at all. Oh my, Mr. Bloodir. Goodbye. It was nice knowing you. Boom, baby. And as such, at minute 15 we have the first ejection of the game as Mr. Commando makes a successful push with his Chad UEF ACU. Just look at this boy go. 6k mass killed. Now, that's something that you wanna go and see on your own ACU, but here comes the Strat Bomber from Mr. Turbo. Okay, let's take a quick look at the amount of ASF for both players. 20 for Mr. Turbo and Mr. Wheelie, also known as Farm Sletty, have 18 of them and a few Swift wins. So honestly, I think he can actually go and win the airfight. But he's not gonna go and risk it, as it seems like there is some flak coming in from Mr. Commando and he still have a lot of HP on his ACU. Parallel coming in to go and make sure that the breach in the defenses of the East team is not gonna get breached even more. He have T2 suit and a gun upgrade. Also a lot of T1 spam coming in, so and as such with the help of a Strat Bomber, he should be capable of pushing Mr. Commando at least for a little while. We can already see that Commando is conceding some of the ground that he had won over the fight with Bloodir. One more drop being bombed. One more bomb being dropped, not being bombed, as the one being bombed is FtXCoommando. God damn it. I am so bad at my job. I can't even cast the games properly. We can see that Parallon is still trying to go and contain the breach with his ACU, overcharging few pillars, shooting even more, but here comes the T2 drops with T3 units. Is the transport gone? Okay, the Autumn is being dropped down, but the transport is gonna go down in flames. What a sight to behold. A lot of stuff happening. Although to be honest, I'm quite surprised there is no Navy fight happening anywhere. Oh, there is a small raid by Mr. Jack Appliance. Honestly, I'm surprised also that Jack is basically not doing much. Okay, oh my. Did I just miss an airfight? 16 ASF and no Swift wins. Yep, it seems like Mr. Turbo just won the airfight. And as such, FtXCoommando will have to go and retreat as he's under fire from Broadsword and a few Seraphim gunships, but the flak fire coming up from the skyboxers is gonna be enough to make them move away, like, shoot, shoot, go away, I have flak here. Your air means nothing to me. Parallon trying to go and push even harder, getting some T1 factories online. We will see for how long he can manage to push FtXCoommando back. But here comes the sniper bots. Yeah, there they are. And as such, it seems like Commander will have to go and bring in some T3 artillery to the mix to go and get rid of them or try to snipe them with the air. But with air control belonging to Mr. Turbo, I just don't see it happening, as the T1 bombers are gonna get picked off in no time. One more drop coming in from Parallon, dropping T3 Autumns. And yet again, the transport is gonna fall down in flames right after dropping the delivery. But honestly, it's job been done. The T3 units are here to go and save the day. As such, the pillars are no longer a threat. Even though there is only a few Autumns here and a few sniper bots, it's gonna be enough to make sure that the T2 push is not gonna work out anymore. And it seems like the gunships that were harassing FtXCoommando just a few seconds ago are going on a killing spree somewhere else. Okay, I say killing spree, but it seems like they only managed to kill, what, 77 mass? So, pardon me for that, it seems like all it's done is just kill a few T1 mexes. So, not so much work done for a T3 gunship. Also, what the hell are these gunships doing here? Parallel, come on, go and make use of them. Nano repair being built by Mr. Parallel on his ACU. He wants to make sure that he can stay on the front line and match the Chad ACU from Mr. FtXCoommando. And as such, it seems like the game is gonna enter yet another stalemate, as there's nowhere to push, nowhere to hide. And as such, both teams are gonna go echo up a little bit, maybe start getting some experimentals, or maybe start amassing some bricks like Mr. Jagged. Parallel asking if the airfight was won, and let's see the numbers for the ASF. 52 ASF from Mr. Turbo, up against, what is it? 34 ASF for Farm Sletia. Yikes, that's 20 ASF difference. I mean, even if Turbo makes a bad turn, I still don't think that Farm Sletia is gonna be capable of winning the airfight. Meanwhile, FtX, after getting his shield back up, is gonna yet again come to the front line with his ACU. Because, well, it's a beast of an ACU, 10k mass killed, and believe me, that's a lot for an ACU. An overcharge fired, as Lobos just disappear. And it seems like actually now he can go and push yet again. He have a lot of units, a lot of pillars, some parashields, flag to defend from the harassment from Mr. Turbo, and a lot of Lobos. So yep, he's gonna go and pick up the gauntlet yet again. Overcharged fired, 4 Lobos going down, pillars getting in range, starting to fire away on. The Lobos are just dropping dead. Poor Lobos, they weren't made for this. The T2 shield is gonna fall down, and the T2 PD Utawshala is not gonna mean much when confronted with this big amount of forces. T3 gunship yet again coming to aid, but I just don't think it will do much. The ACU from Parallel firing overcharge, getting rid of single Pira, second one going down to simple shots. But I just don't think this is enough, and oh my goodness, there is a lot of dead interceptors. Don't ever come close to flag fire, guys. Just don't do it. Autumns slowly retreating, they are just not gonna fight against the scary mass of the pillars. Like, look at this beautiful T2 mix of units. Tootling is for pussies. Real chads get the gun com and then push in. Just like Mr. FtXCoommando. Yes, run Seraphim scum, run! You're just alien bastard who have nothing on the glorious UEF. As we can see, Mr. Parallel conceding all the reclaim here and all the mass points to Mr. FtX. But let's look, yeah, the air is looking grim. Mr. Turbo having 2 more mechs, I mean 4 more T2 mechs than Mr. Farmsletty was unfortunately the nail in the coffin, because Farm just is not capable of matching up the air production coming out from Mr. Turbo. Yeah. There is a big difference in the grids. He might have more T3 maxes when I look at it, because there is what, only 4 coming for Mr. Turbo and there is already 5. And okay, make it 6. But the simple fact that he had 4 T2 maxes more was enough to make sure that he's gonna go and have the air control, simply due to having more build power on the ASF. A few Scorchers coming in, gonna go and try to drop a payload on the Lobos and stuff. Or at least I hope so. Yes, they do, but the shields, the para shields, are gonna make sure that no damage is gonna be done to the big mass of Lobos under the shields. Pardon me for that. Anyway, the chicken from Mr. Parallon is gonna go and make sure that the few bricks coming out from Mr. Jagged Appliance will have to simply fall back, as there is nothing that they can do to go and get rid of the big scary chicken. Yep, the ASU is gonna get picked up by the T2 transport, the Dragonfly, and gonna get dropped somewhere safe. Honestly, when I look at this position here, it just seems like there is nothing he can do against the chicken. He will simply have to go and give it up. And I'm really not sure if this is the moment to be getting a T3 HQ up and running, Mr. Jagged. Even more so when you have no air control or anything at all. It just screams mistake. Ah, the Broadsword finally getting some mass killed under his belt, making it 600 mass killed. Which is still not much for a T3 gunship, and the one that was alive for what? 5-6 minutes already? Chicken getting closer and closer to the forward base belonging to Jagged Appliance. Okay, it's not HQ. For a second I was afraid it was actually a T3 land HQ, but thank goodness it's only a support factory. T2 PDs firing away at the chicken. A little mistake. They should be trying to get rid of the T1 spam, as the chicken is just gonna regen the HP lost. Like it already has a vet on it, so yeah. Real bad. Some SAMs firing away at the ASF belonging to Turbo, but not much damage being done, because it's but a single SAM that is now gonna die to the chicken, as it fires its big cannons away. Yeah. Okay. Jagged Appliance trying to get the Monkey Lord up and running. A last-ditch resort, if you ask me, because the amount of bricks and other units in his base is simply not enough to go and do anything against the chicken. Even then, using the Monkey Lord is gonna be a really close call, considering this is one of the weakest T4 experimental units. It have a lot of DPS, but not much HP, and, well... I mean, the saving grace of it is that it's actually quite fast to make and that it have stealth, so... There's that. Is Parallon even aware of this? No, he's not. Okay, no, he's actually aware that there is a spider bot being produced. But even then, he's gonna keep on pushing in hard, as the spider bot is still not ready. ASF circling around the Jagged's base, making sure that no one is capable of using bombers against the chicken. Corsair dropping down, 2 bricks falling down, as the chicken is finally in base. 24k mass killed. The Monkey Lord is up and running, the chicken is now starting to go and focus fire on him, but there are bricks behind him. Chicken dropping lower and lower, but the Monkey Lord is also on only but half HP. The bricks are gonna be the difference, most likely. Is Jax gonna dodge the shots? No! The Monkey Lord is dead, but there also goes down the chicken. The crisis is averted. But for how long? Because the T3 air fight is happening right above the base. And it seems like Mr. Farmsletty is the one to go and lose it. Holy shit. Even though there was some and flak aiding the air fight for the West team, the victory belongs to Mr. Turbo. FtXCoommando, recognizing that this is all or nothing, is gonna go and push hard with his ACU up against the forces belonging to Paralon. And Turbo already saying that he's gonna go and spam bombers and snipe the enemy team. A good choice. If the air belongs to you, feel free to use it and abuse it. Paralon also saying that he have one more chicken coming in, and yes, there it is. But for now, let us just simply go and focus on the FtXCoommando trying to go and make a beautiful last charge up against forces belonging to Paralon. With Triads fighting away from the hill, and the Seraphim T2PD being useless like always, because it's just not capable of shooting over the ground. Meanwhile, the UEF Glorious Triads are gonna give no fucks, as they fire in beautiful arcs at the Percivals coming in from Mr. FtXCoommando. First Triad going down. The units are getting closer and closer, as they're gonna go for their last ditch push in here. What a beautiful scene. Can we see the chicken coming? No. Most likely not. It's just too far away. A T2 transport coming out, and is it gonna get sniped or no? It's not. The ACU being picked up and just getting back to safety. Now the goodwill ambassadors coming in from Mr. Turbo are just gonna go come here and deal with FtXCoommando. I just don't see flak or anything left in the mix. There is some Sparkies on the field, but it seems like they might not be enough as they're just simply too far away. First bomb hits and connects with the target. 3 more missing, but the 5th one and the 6th one connect with the ACU as FtXCoommando is falling below half the HP, just 9k HP left. And here comes another pass from the Strat bombers. Yep, all the bombs connect with the area of effect, and there it comes. It was nice knowing you, Commando. You did real good. Like honestly, it was a pleasure watching you duke it out with Mr. Bloodir here on this part of the map. It seems like the bricks, Percivals, are simply gonna go and fall down to the amassed fires coming out from the Zuis and the ACU belonging to Mr. Paralon. Yep, you don't wanna use Percivals up against a T1 spam. They're just not made for it. Yep, not made for it. Where is the chicken? Oh, okay, the chicken is nearly inside Jack's base, and there is also a mega being built, but will it be done on time? As we can see, Turbo pushing in hard for the ASF belonging to Mr. Farmsletty. Is he gonna go and take a fight over the enemy base or not? It seems like he will be forced to. The air fight is happening. Though the micro is kind of strange, it seems like Turbo is gonna win it fair and square. The SAMs are gonna be of no consequence as the ASFs are dropping down like flies. Oh my. Jagged. All you had to do was leave the maxes to Mr. Farmsletty. Let's see where the chicken is. It's here. And it seems like the big nasty crab is gonna go and meet him soon. But the ACU belonging to Jack is gonna get sniped by the same bombers that killed off Mr. FtXCoommando. A single ASF is gonna go and make no difference, and the free bouncers also of no consequence. We can see some shots being exchanged between the Mr. Crab and Mr. Chicken, but it seems like Jagged was not paying attention to Chicken, and as such it got into the range of the Itota, and it's now just gonna go and die, because when you're using Megalith, you wanna make sure that you're going and microing it properly. You don't wanna face planting straight into better experimentals that wanna get up close to you, like the Chicken Monkey Lot, or maybe even GC Farms asking where his team is at. Yep, it seems like it's gonna be game over as Parallel managed to go and secure the north. The base that was belonging to Mr. FtXCoommando is also gonna go and drop down under the fire from the Strat bombers. Not to mention the angry Chicken, making sure that there is nothing gonna be left of the base. A TP coming out from Mr. Farms. Unfortunately, no laser or double gun upgrade on it, as it's just Virgin Aeon ACU. Incapable of doing any nasty teleplays. Turbo saying you can't, it seems like he... Wait, what T3 Max? What? What reclaiming? What are you speaking about, my friend? All your maxes are fine. What are you speaking about? Anyway, the Zoes are gonna keep on pushing in, as Parallel wants to reclaim what's left from the base that once belonged to Mr. Bloodier. Lot of Zoes in the middle of the screen. I actually wonder how many of them. I guess it's gonna be somewhere around 100. 135 Zoes and 35 Lobos. Well, if I can say so, I think that's even enough to go and crush this UEF force. Although it seems like Parallel is just not gonna mind it. Oh, lot of Medusas duking it out with the Zoes. Chicken still rampaging after finishing off the base belonging to FTX, now going after the base that once belonged to Mr. Jagged Appliance. And is the ACU ready? The DP is done, and it seems like he's getting a T3 suit on the ACU. Looking at the hand. Yes. Well, I'm still not sure why the hell Jagged would even go and make the T3 Navy HQ and then start producing the T3 battleships. It was a strange move on this map, considering what was happening in the game. And there goes the TP. Where are you going, my friend? Where are you going? Okay. Okay, Turbo is aware that Farms is going for the TP. And is he gonna spot the little blip here or not? Okay, he moves his ACU. He saw the blip. I'm sorry, Mr. Farms, but I'm afraid this is not gonna work out. Turbo asking if Farms can control K as he starts to amass a big amount of T1 bombers to go and get rid of it. A little bit of shit all coming out from here, and it seems like Farms is now aware that he has actually been spotted. Saying that he will definitely go and crush. Farms shit talking, I mean FtXCoommando, about how Turbo actually have not a single but actually 2 T1 radars. And the ACU belonging to Farm Sletty is gonna go up in flames. Boom, baby! GG, well played. Honestly, if you ask me, quite a good game, especially coming from Mr. FtXCoommando with his Chad T2. I mean, it wasn't even a T2, it was just basically a shield and a gun com. So yeah, a really nice play coming out from here. GG to all the players, and see you next time.